What happens when you leave your burdens to the careless hands of others? Can you truly trust someone who claims to know all but fails to act in true service? Ancient sage Rumi tells a story about a Sufi who learned this lesson the hard way, a lesson that still echoes in our lives today. Late one night, a Sufi arrived at a khanqa, a spiritual retreat, seeking rest after a long journey. Inside, the air was filled with a peaceful ecstasy, as the people of the khanqa gathered in joy. They had prepared a meal for their guest, setting a beautiful spread before him, but amid this hospitality, the Sufi's thoughts turned to his donkey, which had been left alone in the stable. He called the caretaker, instructing him to tend to the donkey's needs. But the caretaker, with an air of quiet arrogance, dismissed the Sufi's words. "Lahul wala," he said. "There is no need for your instructions. I have always done this task, and I know it well." The Sufi, unconcerned, gently continued his requests. He asked for the oats to be soaked with a little water, for the donkey's old teeth were weak. The caretaker scoffed at this, replying with the same phrase, "Lahul wala. What is this talk of soaking oats? I am the one who teaches others such things." But still the Sufi persisted, asking the caretaker to remove the saddle from the donkey's back, apply ointment to its sores, and clear the stable of dirt and debris. At every turn, the caretaker resisted, asserting his expertise with, "Lahul wala. I know these tasks. You need not worry about such trivial things." And yet, the Sufi's quiet insistence continued. He even suggested that the caretaker sing to the donkey while giving it water, add a little grass to the oats, and drape a blanket over its back, for the night was cold. The caretaker, now irritated, replied, "Lahul wala. Do not burden me with these small tasks. I have served guests for years, and I know how to care for them." Finally, the caretaker left to tend to the donkey, while the Sufi, exhausted, sank into a deep sleep. But as he drifted into slumber, his mind was troubled with visions. In his dream, a wolf attacked the donkey, tearing at its flesh. He awoke in fear, muttering prayers, only to fall back into a restless sleep filled with visions of the donkey falling into ditches and wells. Desperate, the Sufi found himself trapped in his thoughts. Where is that careless caretaker? What is happening to my poor donkey? His mind painted images of the donkey in a miserable state, hungry, thirsty, suffering without care. The Sufi, in his dreams, cried out in despair. How could I be so foolish as to entrust my donkey to such an incompetent soul? Morning came, and the caretaker arrived. He roughly saddled the donkey, showing no sign of tenderness or care. The poor animal whimpered in pain as the caretaker slapped it, as if it were nothing more than a burden to be rid of. The Sufi mounted the donkey, but it was weak from hunger and exhaustion. As they traveled, the donkey stumbled and fell time and again. People along the road noticed the animal's distress and approached the Sufi, asking, "What is wrong with your donkey? Why does it keep falling?" The Sufi, his heart heavy, replied, "Thank God the donkey is strong, but it is the one who trusted the words Lahul wala without action that cannot progress. Such carelessness is fitting for the one who claims to know all but fails to act in true service." The Sufi's words carried a deep truth, reaching the hearts of those who listened. When you entrust your needs to those who do not truly serve, you will, like the donkey, fall. Do not depend on those who speak in empty words but act with no intention. Be like the lion who hunts its prey, for only through your efforts will you find your way. If you seek to move forward in life, do not place your trust in the hands of those who merely speak of service, but fail to act with care and integrity. The one who does not serve with sincerity will only lead you astray.